So, ladies and gents, more movie rights are up for grabs. I did a video last week where I discussed the Bourne franchise. All the rights were up for grabs. Who knows, could lead to a reboot, whatever. Well, now, turns out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre rights are up for grabs. So this is quite interesting, actually. We saw that last movie. It was a Netflix one, wasn't it? Weird to say. There was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie released on Netflix. Pretty certain it was an actual Netflix one as well. Or at least they bought the distribution rights. Or was that part of Universal selling stuff? Do you remember that? Universal went on a weird rampage of just selling movies that they made to Netflix. It's really weird. Really strange. But anyway, like I said, this has happened 3 days ago. So I'm not like on it with this news. But it has come across my doorstep and I thought we would talk about it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre rights are up for grabs. And then obviously everyone's like, oh wow, you know, gotta get them. Because those movies have done so well lately, I guess. So no, we're going to take a look at this today. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Do turn those bell notifications on. I'm just looking at myself to see how bad I look. I'm quite ill at the moment. You can obviously tell and hear. So, yeah, excuse the sort of watery eyes, bunged up face. That's what's going on. I am sick. Anyway, so this happened 3 days ago, 21st of March. And, yeah, interesting. It says that there's a number of bold-faced names that have been mentioned as showing interest, including Powell and Andy Machete. I didn't think Machete was... I didn't think he'd be able to afford it. Because the rights for this would be quite expensive. But maybe he's loaded these days. Who knows? I quite like the Texas Chainsaw movies. I think they have a special place in a lot of people's hearts who are, I don't know, over the age of 30, I guess would probably be right to say. Not to say that there's people that don't love it under 30, obviously. But I think that these movies have a special place in anyone's heart that's over 30. Just because of what they were. I mean, they were a horror institution. You know, not all of them were good, obviously. But it's a bit like Friday the 13th, you know. They keep coming back around. And you hope and you dream that they'll be good. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are. Same as the Halloween franchise. You know, another franchise that you want it to come back around. And then it does. And unfortunately, sometimes you become bitterly disappointed. But there's hope always. Because it was once good. It's that sort of nostalgia effect, I guess. So it says this, another long-standing intellectual properties rights have hit the market, drawing up major interest from producers and studios. So the day after it was revealed that WME was shopping the rights to Jason Bourne and titles from the Robert Ludlum estates, comes word that the rights to a venerated horror franchise, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, are also available. It says this, while there is significant amount of interest from several parties, it's quite in early in the process. That's weird. It's quite in early. All right. In the process to determine who is involved and where it will land. But the participation of some bold-faced names, Texas's favourite golden boy Glenn Powell, anyone, has some talking about a free-for-all. Glenn Powell? What? Weird. I read Powell in the headline. I didn't realise it was Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell? What, he wants to buy them? Or wants to star in it? God, whatever. Who cares? It's fine. So, Legendary Pictures held the rights to the property since 2017 and made a movie in 2022 that streamed on Netflix. Ah, so it was Legendary did it. Legendary have the rights to some weird stuff. They genuinely have like a lot of IP rights. And 9 times out of 10, when they release something, you think that it's Warner Brothers, but it's actually a Legendary property. They just have co-financing deals with Warner Brothers, who then also handle the distribution. But it's a Legendary production, and they actually run it. So it is interesting. They have a lot of like weird IP that you just wouldn't put with Legendary, but good on them. So anyway, a sequel never materialized despite hopes. I remember them saying that there was going to be a sequel, but yeah, it just never happened. I didn't really like that movie that was on Netflix. I thought it was a bit shit, to be honest, but fine. The IP returned to the rights holders, Exurbia Films, whatever that is, which is run by Pat Cassidy, the original movie's co-screenwriter Kim Henkel and son Ian Henkel, who then turned to their representative at boutique agency Verve. I said that weird then, Verve. There is no bidding war as of yet, since there is no package or take on the material, but there is plenty of interest, including players who are huddling on potential packages. So one mentioned is the teaming of Powell and JT Molnar with producer Roy Lee. Now, so JT Molnar did Strange Darling. I really liked Strange Darling. That was a great film. Roy Lee loves his horror. He's a producer of Vertigo Films. So he's done a lot of stuff. I think they'd be good. I think even Glenn Powell, I think that as a package would actually be good. I think that's a good deal. Another name mentioned has been It filmmaker Andy Muschietti. I think his star's gone. I don't really care what he does anymore, to be honest. He's made some garbage lately. That's the guy that did The Flash. So, yeah, he can go away. So the original 1974 movie remains an icon of the genre. The story was one aspect, a group of friends who encounter a family of cannibals, including the chainsaw-wielding maniac known as Leatherface. The violence was another. The movie was banned in states, in countries, and there's the business side, which saw the director, Tobe Hooper, make the movie for less than $300,000 and become one of the most profitable movies ever made, with $31 million globally in the box office. And this is why, when times are tough in Hollywood, they all turn to horror. Because you can make horror films for nothing. Dirt cheap. Not that cheap anymore. Well, you could, but probably not. But that's wise, because they are dirt cheap. So it makes sense that you would turn to horror when times are tough in Hollywood. So the high interest in Texas Chainsaw underscores the value of IP, not locked down by a media company. It also shows how horror remains a hot genre that will get eyeballs on screens, big or small. Earlier this year, studios went in on a massive bidding war for Resident Evil, another horror play that briefly hit the market before landing at Sony, and that's sort of moving ahead now with the Barbarian filmmaker, I think, if I remember rightly. So there you go. That's the update. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, up for grabs. I like Glenn Powell, JT Molnar, and Roy Lee. I would also say, as a studio, I think Skydance would be a good one. Skydance. Skydance have made some good stuff lately. They're behind the Top Gun Maverick and some other bits and pieces. So, yeah, good. There you go. That's the update. What do you think? Let me know down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.